You've wired up powerful AI flows in N8N, but there's still no clean way to talk to them. Got the brain in place, but you're missing the experience. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a chat interface so clean that it feels like magic. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So to start off, you need a N8N workflow that's a chatbot that you'd like to connect to it. Now there's a couple of things that we have to do to this workflow to make it work. So I imagine that you guys probably have a workflow that looks something more or less like this, and connected to this you have some sort of chat trigger like this, right? You have an AI agent with a chat trigger and you want to convert it to be able to use with this interface that we're building, right? So what we do is we delete the chat trigger, obviously. We change it to instead go from connected chat trigger node to go define below. We add a prompt. Now this prompt is for me, it's who I am. It connects to an MCP server that has all of my YouTube video transcripts, all of the podcasts I've been on, and a bunch of history about me so that it can sound like me when I ask it questions, and when employees and other people, content creators that work for me, ask questions to it, it can give proper responses. Beautiful. So now we have to hook it up and make it actually work. Now these two nodes are specific to the AI node right here, so you don't have to worry about them. They're just related to the prompt. You can do whatever it is you guys want. What is, however, important is we need this webhook node and we need this respond to webhook node in order for this to work. So on the webhook node, we're going to do a post method. We're going to give it a path. I'm going to just put YouTube here for a minute. Okay, and then we're going to respond using respond to webhook node. This is extremely important. You want to make sure your method is post and you're good to go. So connect that here, connect all that together. We'll work on this prompt a little bit later once we get the chat interface going, so I can show you how to connect the two. And then we're going to need this respond to webhook node, which we'll just grab JSON.output from here. So you can just copy and paste this to respond with text, JSON.output, it'll be perfect. Now one more thing I want to note is it's really good idea to put authentication on your webhook. So we're going to do a quick authentication real quick. We're going to add header auth. Now I'm going to make a new one. We're going to put x-api-key. And at the bottom, we're going to put whatever we want. So I'm going to put subscribe below as the value here. Okay, make sure to subscribe. And we're going to click save. And I'll save that for later because we're going to need that later on. Beautiful. So now our workflow is essentially set up. So let's jump onto Lovable and get an app going. So now we're on Lovable and we're going to make a quick app. Now, how you customize the theme and stuff like that is totally up to you. Today, I'm feeling more of a green vibe, so I'm going to make like a green grayish version. So we're going to start with the login screen because I want this chat to be private to me and my employees. I'm really just making this as an example for you. I already made this, but let's jump right in. So I said, I need you to make a login screen with green tones. Do not add sign up. Let's go. Let's see what that does. All right, it said that it created a beautiful login screen with green tones. Oh, nice. This actually looks really good. Now it says, need to save user login. Supabase is a simple way. Let's connect Supabase. So we're going to do that. So let's click connect to project. Now add an organization if you have to. Log in with Supabase. If not, you're already logged in, you're good to go. Let's go ahead and create a new project. We're going to call it YouTube test. Don't need the database password, so we don't have to look at it. Just click create new project. We'll refresh the page first. Click connect to project again. And it seems like the project is still being set up, so we have to wait a minute. All right, so now that it's connected, we'll click on the YouTube test. We'll exit out of that. And it says it's connecting just fine. So let's give that a minute to connect. Beautiful, it's connected. So now let's add it, tell it to add authentication. And while it's doing that, let's create a test user. So we'll go back over to Supabase. We'll go down to authentication here on the left. We'll click add user, create a new user, give it an email. Let's give it a password. And auto confirm user, yes, create user. Go back over to Lovable, wait for it to do its job. Beautiful. So it says it's done. So let's go ahead and test it out. Put the email and the password, make sure that's the right one. Click sign in. Beautiful. So now we have a dashboard. It's not what we want, but it's pretty good. So now we're going to ask Lovable to make our chat bot. All right, I made a beautiful prompt here. I said, I need a chat window on the dashboard. I'll use it to talk to an AI. Use the same green theme we have going on. I want to send a webhook too. And then I grabbed the webhook URL from here. Make sure you use the production URL, right? And then I said with a JSON body of message containing the text I input into the chat. You need to add a header auth of X API key is subscribe below, and the body of the response to the webhook will be the response to display in the chat bot. Now, one thing I do want to note is in order to give this chat memory, make sure that you hook up a chat memory to your chat right here so it can remember the conversation. I did that with Postgres, but if you want the easy way of doing it, what you can do is just click simple memory here, give it 10, and you're good to go. The reason why I gave it Postgres is because the memory actually does change depending on which chat we're using. This was part of a much bigger workflow that looks like this, of which it would route it to different chatbots based on what the needs were. Now on the Postgres table, just so you guys know, I have different keys for the different chats so that we can remember the histories for each chat. But of course, you guys don't have to do any of that depending on what your use case is. Now, make sure your workflow is active. We'll go ahead and save it. Jump back over to Lovable and let's execute that prompt. See what it does. Beautiful. So it said, I added a beautiful chat window to your dashboard that matches the green theme. Chat includes message bubbles, loading states, scroll functionality, and connects to your webhook API with the specified headers and JSON format. Sounds pretty cool. Let's have a conversation with it. Hey, how's it going? Let's see if it works. Might not. Well, yeah, it seems like it is working, although it is kind of small. I'm going to delete this. Let me show you guys how I connected the AI because that part was in the prompt and I didn't show that because it was kind of already done from the last project. So if we go here to the question right here and into the execution, I'm going to copy this to the editor so you can see. We jump into the question here. We've got this huge prompt, right? But then at the bottom, we're grabbing the message. So if we go down to the webhook and we go to the body, we go to message, we can just drag and drop that. And that is your prompt. So you can add whatever you want to your prompt above and then just add the message down below and it'll work just fine. Now, because we responded with just the output text from the AI, Lovable was able to connect it quite well. And so now we can ask it, how many videos does Austin currently have on YouTube? And it should come out with a number. Checked yesterday actually, I've got around 75 videos on my channel now, mostly focused on N8N automations, web scraping tutorials, and some Python stuff. Sounds like it's working pretty well. Beautiful. But we have one problem, guys. If we refresh this page, chat history's gone. Let's go ahead and fix that. So, like I was talking to you guys earlier about this Postgres chat node, we're actually going to connect a new one. So let's delete that. Let's go over to our Supabase here. Let's click on connect at the top. And we're looking for the second one, the transaction pooler here. We're going to grab this URL. We're going to hop back over to N8N. We're going to click on memory. We're going to click on Postgres and connect to chat trigger node. Let's add a new credential here. Host is there. The port is 6543. So we'll go back over here. Port 6543. SSL is disabled. Make sure that's checked. That's really important. Database is Postgres, which is fine. Got the user, which is Postgres, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we actually do need that database password. So to reset the database password, guys, all you got to do is go into project settings. We'll go into database on the left. We'll click reset database password. And I'm going to set the database password as subscribe below 123 pound. And reset the password. I'm going to copy that too. Beautiful. Now we can go back over to the YouTube, click paste that in, click save, and it looks like it worked. So this on message will automatically generate the right table in the Postgres for us to be able to use. Now the session ID, we can define it below. We can just call it dashboard chat. And then I believe at this point, we can just send a test message. Let's just execute the last one and see what happens. Now we'll go back over to the database. We'll check the table. We'll see now we have N8N chat history. So now it's actually got a history going. So guys, I lost a little bit of video footage. I went on and recorded a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to show you the prompts that I did and the steps that I took to get here. The chat is fully working and deployed. Let's jump back into where I was. This is the last message you guys saw here. Now I did a couple of tests here and it didn't work. So I changed my approach. So let's start from here. I said, hey, can you add a new Supabase table to save all the messages sent and messages received as they come in, so that we can display the chat history. Now, why did I do that? Well, because we had just connected here the new chat history, but that chat history only works for the AI. It doesn't work for the app. And if we told the app to use this N8N chat histories table, it wouldn't work right because it would include the prompt as well and a bunch of stuff that we just don't need. So we told it to make a new table. Okay, and so it said I'll create a new table. It says here we've got a message text, whether it's a user or not. It added some row level security, which I thought was really great. So I was like, okay, well, we can do different accounts, right? So one account logs in, they have different messages than another account. Thought that was a good idea. So I told it to review the SQL and run it. And while it did that, I went over to Supabase and I created a new account. All right. Once I created that account, I went back over to the AI and it says the chat window now automatically loads the chat history. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I refreshed the page like this. And we could see that the chat history was working just fine. Beautiful. And then I was like, okay, so we need chat history not only for the UI portion, but we need the AI to also have chat history per user. So I was like, yo, can you modify the webhook to send the email as well? Should send the structure here as the body. Then went over to N8N, and we can see here on the webhook, we got the message and the email, right? And I opened the AI node, and I went all the way down to the bottom here. Webhook item JSON body message. I copied that. I opened the Postgres chat memory and I pasted that as the key. But then I changed message to say email and I clicked save. And now if we go to the Supabase database, we go into table editor and we check the N8N chat histories, we see we have the different emails here. So at that point, we were getting proper AI responses. But it told me, hey, the code's getting too long, so I said refactor it, right? And then I refreshed the page and there was an error because I'd logged into another account. I refreshed the page and I was in the other account that I had already logged out of. So I told it, I'm like, hey, I logged into another account, refreshed the page, but it says I'm the previous user. When I click log out, there's an error. It should redirect. And it said, yo, I can see the issue. I'm going to fix it right now. And so it did, and we got this here. So to show you guys that it works, we're going to give a quick chat. So we've got this one that says, hey, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. All right, then I got a bug where the webhook wasn't firing properly. So I told it, now the webhook's not firing right. And then now we have the chat. So let's go ahead and test it out and see how it looks. You can see it's responding just fine. And it says, just killing it, man. All right, now let's refresh the page. Make sure we have the same response. And we do. Now let's log out and log into another account. You can see this is a different account. And I think I said the same thing on this account. So let's just make sure that it's different. What's the capital of France? Beautiful. And then if we log out and log into the other account again, we can see that the last one is, how are you today? But it's different, right? So good. And then all we have to do is publish it because now it's working. We have different accounts. They have different chat histories. Everything's looking great. So all we have to do is click publish up here. And we saw we got a Supabase error. So this error is based on row level security. It's saying that the N8N chat histories table that N8N made has no row level security. Well, what is row level security? It's a way where it blocks certain data in the database to be accessed by certain users. Well, the table N8N chat histories is only accessible by N8N. It's not accessible by the front end. And N8N is already doing this for you right here using the key. So it will only grab records for whatever is being sent here, which is the person logged in. So if we go over to the N8N chat histories table, we can see it will only grab the right chats for the right user. So we actually don't have to worry about this error at all. So in that case, we can go over and we can click publish, in this case, update. Beautiful. And now we can click the app right here and let's do one final test to see how it works. So we're logging in. So we can see it logs in just fine. Let's log into another account real quick. Beautiful. And let's do one last test message. So if you're on YouTube, say hi. It says, hey YouTube peeps. If this video helped you guys out, you guys need to see my video on how to create AI generated sales funnels. So be sure to check that out and you guys have a wonderful day.